The first step to turning America around is ending this disastrous presidency. So here in Iowa, we must resolve that Joe Biden will never be reelected as President of the United States.
Former Vice President Mike Pence is ready to get back into the White House, but this time as Commander-in-Chief. He joins us now for his first on-air TV interview since launching his 2024 presidential bid live from Iowa. Mr. Vice President, good to have you on. Congratulations for getting in the race. Want to start with this because
Thank you. Great to be with you.
I want to start with this because the challenge as I see it for you is that your policies are the policies of the Trump-Pence administration. Yet you're trying to convince voters to stick with the policies, but go with a different horse pulling the cart. How do you convince them to do that?
Well, first and foremost, it is great to be here in Iowa, the first in the nation state, I believe, is going to be the state that sends not just the next Republican nominee, but the next president of the United States to the White House, John. And we wanted to be here to start this campaign. But look, to answer your question, I think different times call for different leadership. I'm proud of the record of the Trump-Pence administration, but I think as we go forward in this country, as we face challenges at home and abroad, driven by the failed policies of President Joe Biden and the Democrats in Washington, D.C., that we need to return our party to those time-honored conservative principles. I talked about it today. We've got my former running mate and others are walking away from American leadership on the world stage. They're walking away from a commitment to fiscal discipline. They're even starting to walk away from the right to life. I said today, I'm going to stand on the strong conservative agenda that has led to Republican victories in the past and delivered great results for the American people.
Most GOP voters, and welcome, Mr. Vice President. Thanks so much for joining us today. It's Sandra here. Most people want to know if they're considering voting for you in the primary, if they think that you can win. And you've jumped into a field with your former boss, Donald Trump. And they are likely wondering how you plan to run against Donald Trump.
Well, we really laid out that choice today, but honestly, the reason we started here in Iowa is because Karen and I are going to spend an awful lot of time in Iowa this fall and in New Hampshire and in South Carolina. One of the things that I've come to realize the last few years is that I'm well known, but I'm not known well. I think people know me more as a quiet vice president, standing off the president's shoulder, loyally supporting him all the way until a day when my oath to the Constitution required me to do otherwise. But now we have an opportunity with all the great people in this state to travel to the cities and the farms and the byways and the highways and let people really get to know the Pences, not just my years as vice president, but when I led the state of Indiana through tax cuts, expanded educational choice, stood for the right to life. And of course, as you all know me from years ago, when I was a leader of House conservatives, I bucked the big spenders in my own party. And part of that is the story we want to tell, as well as my wife Karen did so movingly today, to tell the story of our family, two family members that are in the armed forces of the United States, incredibly accomplished kids that we're so proud of, that love this country. And so getting a chance to introduce the Pences to people here in Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina, and ultimately to America is our pathway forward.
You are running, as you pointed out, as a traditional conservative, the way you did when you ran for Congress, when you ran for governor of Indiana. But Jonathan Swan points out in the New York Times that the party is different than it was during the time that you ran for Congress and the time that you were governor of Indiana. Here's what he wrote. He says, "It doesn't matter that Mr. Pence has been married only once and is so determined to honor his vows that he doesn't allow himself to dine alone with a woman who is not his wife. Nor does it matter how many affairs Mr. Trump has had or whether he paid hush money to a porn star. Mr. Trump silences all of that in a way with one blunt social media post. I was able to kill Roe v. Wade." How do you compete with that, Mr. Vice President?
Well, first, John, I would tell you, I really don't look to the New York Times for advice on the Republican Party. I mean, we could start there.
But John,
Secondly,
you got to see
look,
John Swan is an ultimately fair reporter. I know him. I know him well. He's a fair reporter.
Look, I have great respect for John, whatever I think of the New York Times. Now, to answer your question, look, I know there's talk about how the party has changed, but look, we're going to test that theory. I really believe this is still a conservative party. As I said today, while others in the field, including my former running mate, are walking away from America's role as leader of the free world, the arsenal of democracy, I really do believe that Republicans still stand for a strong defense and a strong American presence on the world stage for freedom. The same thing with fiscal responsibility, the same thing with a commitment to the sanctity of life. Now, we added to that border security is national security. We changed the national consensus so that the American people understand that China is the greatest economic and strategic threat our country faces. But I think the foundation of our party and our movement is still the same. And when you look at the challenges we face in the wake of the disastrous failures of the Biden administration, now more than ever, we need to offer a time-honored, proven conservative agenda to the American people, and that's what we'll be doing in this campaign.
Well, this is getting very exciting, and it feels like 2024 is getting very close, Mr. Vice President. And your party has laid out the criteria for the debate stage, and those debates are going to be very important, as they always are, those primary debates. And one of the requirements is that you vow to support whoever becomes the eventual nominee of your party. Have you considered that? And will you commit to that?
Well, I will absolutely support the Republican nominee for president in 2024, especially if it's me. Look, I have been a Republican since I joined the Reagan Revolution. But I honestly believe that the premise of your question is I think we've got a great group of men and women running for this nomination. I truly do believe that we've got better choices in the days ahead. And the enthusiasm that we've met here traveling through Iowa and even here today, I believe gives me great confidence that we'll be able to not just endorse but enthusiastically support the Republican nominee for president, and we're going to work our hearts out for us and for our family to be just that.
Well, I tell you what, Mr. Vice President, people really are curious about the specifics with your policy proposals. We're going to get into those in just a short time from now, and we look forward to you joining us again after the break. Thanks so much.
We'll be right back with more from the former Vice President.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.